Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this session on NFTs, collecting the world with NFTs. So since this event is open to the public, let me introduce myself. I'm Emma Pessimistic. I'm the co-chair of the Blockchain Committee of the FinTech Association of Hong Kong. And basically, I'm as well, head of digital strategy for BNP Paribas Asset Management. This is my real job. But today as a co-chair, I'm super happy with Bowie from Magespire. She introduced herself as well to co-moderate this event. And we have a great, a great panelists today because they are all coming from different type of background, really eclectic. So that's why we love so much about the panelists today. Let me just quickly introduce themselves, and then I will let Bowie run the agenda. So first, we have Sebastien Borget. He's a serial entrepreneur with 13 years of experience in growing startups. Nine of the last year I've been in mobile gaming, and and through the Sandbox is bringing blockchain technology into the gaming experience. We have with us as well Huang. Annie is the growth manager for APAC of Dapper Labs. So through the Flow blockchain built by Dapper Labs, there has been a lot of great NFT that has been issued, including the well-known NBA Top Shot. Then we have with us Choo, is a founding partner of Choo Global Venture. Choo Global Venture is a global technology equity fund that invests in serial entrepreneurs across technology, data, AI, and blockchain. And Kelly is one of the first investor into the NFT space. And with us as well, we have Gustav Szabo, also known as Szabotage. So Gus is a urban contemporary artist based in Hong Kong. He has a designer background, and he worked with the best such as Philip Stark. And now he has his own art business, and he is the first Hong Kong artist to have issued an NFT so far. So basically, really great panel. So I will let Bowie introduce the agenda.
Thank you, Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm Bowie, based in Hong Kong, very active member of the Blockchain Committee. We welcome, on behalf of Emma and myself, we welcome everybody to join. Very excited for this event for the FinTech Association of Hong Kong, and work really hard to line up these fabulous speakers. So very excited to run the agenda for with you all today. So first, we will have Sandbox to do a presentation and give us the overview of the business. Afterward, we will get to know about what's happening with Dapper Labs, and subsequently Goose, which is our NFT artist, will also present. Afterward, we will have a very exciting panel discussion. So while I'm telling you all these is, I want to let you know you will have to pay attention to the presentation as well as the panel discussion, because afterward we will have an NFT quiz. You will get into a link in where you're going to answer the questions. So the top 3 winners, thanks to Sandbox, Sebastien actually is willing to sponsor 3 NFT as the prize for the top 3 winners of the quiz. So stay tuned. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, which is Sebastien, to give us a presentation. So Sebastien.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. And feel free to share screen and give us your presentation.
Perfect. Can share screen. So hi, it's a pleasure to be here with you today and to be the first speaker on today's event to introduce you to the concept of NFTs and the NFT metaverse. So I hope I'll be doing a great job at explaining some of those basic concepts that we'll be discussing on today's panel, and you'll get a chance to learn more and be excited about what we are all building and contributing to. So it starts all in the Sandbox metaverse with content that's actually being made by users. So in Sandbox, it's a user-generated content metaverse where anyone can use a certain form of content, essentially voxels or sort of 3D pixel, to create their asset and start using them with our game maker, publishing experiences, games, etc. Voxel, it's a form of digital expression, sort of like digital Legos, if I can put it simply, but it's still very powerful in it provides an aesthetic, and it also enables almost anyone. We've seen a whole generation of kids and now grown-ups that's been playing around with Legos, Minecraft, Roblox, and being able to use it at very basic, simple shapes up to like master pieces of art that get exposed all around the world and takes months of work. So you can imagine behind like the hours of work and craft that's being put can be valuable. Besides content made by users, Sandbox, we also try as a virtual world, as a gaming virtual world that use blockchain technology and NFTs to empower creators and users to leverage brands and IPs. How essentially we believe that the brand and IPs that we bring into the Sandbox metaverse are actually helping us to connect with the reality. Once you're a user, you're a virtual avatar into a virtual world, what are the things that actually connect you to the reality? It's still like the culture, the history, the thing that you've been already familiar with in the real world that you can find again into the virtual world. And we offer something quite unique at Sandbox, which is again back to the idea of user-generated content, that we allow anyone to create their own adventures, stories, experience, game that involve those content they are fan of, the brand and IPs, and publish them into our world and monetize them. Third thing that I've been making the concept of NFT and metaverse really popular recently, obviously the pandemic. The pandemic has really, it's been over a year now that we're living in this post-pandemic world. I don't know if it's post, actually we're still in, but that helped us to appreciate or reduce the friction and the barrier to entry to project ourselves, to spend more and more time in front of screens, in front of virtual conferences, Zoom, and now actually into 3D virtual world, having an avatar as our virtual representation and a way to access interaction, socialize, play games, and potentially do more like earning revenue by playing and creating. Also, most recently, the IPO from Roblox, that's been actually delayed. So it took a few months, has helped to grow the awareness around people can actually, a lot of people, millions of users can play games, socialize into those games, and even earn a revenue, turning the content into a job. And that's what Sandbox has been also pushing with a more adult audience, offering ways to own, play, socialize, meet, and earn, using open standards, which is blockchain technology, in our case, Ethereum mainnet, and offering ways to use the NFTs to provide a digital economy layer, a governance layer as well, where the owner of the token will be participating in decision of the platform, and enabling new ways of earning revenue through creating, playing games, participating in the governance, staking token as well, designing content for virtual world as a voxel architect, designing fashion for avatars. There's many ways that this new virtual world can allow us to engage us. And that's what all the Sandbox is about, enabling users to create, play, socialize, interact, explore, earn, and be involved in the world with other users and with IPs and brands. We believe this is the future of gaming. Let's take a step back and look at NFTs. Some of you might be familiar with the concept of NFTs already. You might have seen some of the big numbers here or there in the media that would include essentially that NFT has gone above $1 billion of trading volume over the last few months. In December, it was $500 million. So in 3 months, the growth has accelerated 2x. You've probably heard about that $69 million Beeple JPEG picture. I think the press has turned it around in a funny way, but behind, like, can you believe that one single transaction was done in just a couple of seconds by one user who had sovereign ownership of its data, its currency, and was able to purchase this image, unique image with traceability and ownership on the blockchain? I think this is mind-blowing, and this is only a beginning for what's coming next in this space. And so you've heard about NFT, essentially about crypto collectible, sports collectible, and art. And I do think like NFTs essentially can represent any sort of digital asset, so that includes in-game asset, obviously, that can include virtual real estate lands that are used into virtual worlds such as Sandbox, art, collectible, but also potentially domain names, music, real world asset like wine, spirits, cars, and so much more. Behind everything can be tokenized as an NFT. The main benefits behind is essentially three key benefits. The first one is the fact that you truly own your assets. So you're not renting them, your data, your assets are not locked on a platform. Then you can take them away from that platform. You can sell them and trade them with other users. You can potentially even use it on other dApps, which is called interoperability. The public ledger also provides the proof of scarcity. So you have finally the possibility to trust that if someone tells you there's only one copy of that NFT, you can see that, you can track who is a creator, how many owners it has. So in this case, just one, and hence you can put a value attached to that asset. And now, starting the fact that we have asset with value, we can begin a whole economy of digital asset and economy of services on top of that. Sandbox also goes further into the concept of a virtual world that uses NFT, since even the land where the games are being published in Sandbox is actually an NFT that can be owned by the users and used to publish the game experience that the other users, players will be visiting, and hence access to the monetization, or can also rent it to the creator or contribute to the economy of the whole world altogether. We've had significant amount of success around our recent land sale, even though we haven't sold all the map, about only 48% have been sold today. Just on 2 weeks ago, April 14, we sold for about 8.9 million SAN, roughly $6 million as of today, of virtual land within a day. And more recently, we sold again $500,000 of land within 60 seconds, proving that there is a huge demand and now a better understanding in terms of like the potential of ownership of virtual real estate, what it enables brands, IPs, investors, collectors, creators, and players behind. And that's why we do have game companies, Square Enix, but we also have partners, tech innovators, art, media that wants to have a presence in the Sandbox metaverse and own their own land NFTs. Essentially, what makes land valuable, and then I guess I will end this presentation. The fact that it provides a permanent presence in the metaverse, the fact that these NFTs, you can interact with them, you can play with your NFT. So there is a strong utility behind attached. They are not just here for watching them for the aesthetic or sitting in a wallet as a collection. You can start using the NFT to access as a player, increasing your avatar skills, potentially earning more as you play through the game, or use those NFT to create game experience that essentially are sort of businesses. So I say games, but can be anything else: art, galleries, museum, live shows, concerts, anything you can build, and using those assets, you essentially offer experience to your users that some of them will be ready to pay for. And I will skip it, but we launched the marketplace recently with great success. Over 600,000 SAN have been transacted, users to creators directly, 95% of the revenue going to creators. And we are going to use NFTs in a metaverse in ways that not seen before, engaging users to play to earn, so they can, as they invest playtime in a game, they have the progression, and based on their progression, they can claim different tokens, NFTs and SAN, so they have the possibility to decide if they keep those for collection or if they sell them on the marketplace, and hence turn their time into a revenue stream. So there's an arbitrage about like, how do I value my time versus the revenue upside, and what makes me more efficient at this time. Hence, we're starting to enter from just playing games for entertainment to playing games with this idea of a return on investment behind, and making a smarter decision related to this. NFT wearables. I could talk hours about the potential of virtual fashion and NFTs around. We are starting to see virtual fashion creators already selling for thousands of dollars of NFTs. Those NFT wearables are essentially defining your identity in the metaverse. When you have a 3D virtual avatar, how you look like and what NFT you own are essentially going to define your identity, who you are. And from that, all the social interactions behind in those metaverse will be depending on it. So other users will come talk to you based on how you look and potentially what you bought or collected as an NFT or what you created as well. And I think the potential, again, mind-blowing behind. And that's it for today. Also think like open metaverses will be supporting to import and display NFTs from all other platforms as well. So NFTs are not necessarily made on Sandbox or used on Sandbox only, but can travel around the whole ecosystem. And that's, I think, one of the strengths of being a decentralized metaverse. Thank you. I hope I was comprehensive enough, and we'll get to chat after in the panel if you have more questions.
Thank you, Sebastien. So now we let Annie presenting Dapper Labs.
Okay, hello, please wait me for a second. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Annie, and just quick, because I only have 10 minutes. So today I will more focus on introducing about Flow. It's a blockchain created by Dapper Labs, because I know most of you probably will be more familiar about like we are the creators behind NBA Top Shot and CryptoKitties. But actually we are building the whole ecosystem, not just for dApps. So today my agenda will be two sections. For the first section, I will like quick introduce about Dapper Labs, our background and our mission. And then I will talk more about like why we build a new blockchain called Flow. So I just want to like turn back to 2017 to give you a quick history throwback. Actually, like in 2017, we were building CryptoKitties on Ethereum, and it's a really like popular dApps at that time, and it let Ethereum like become like gas fee too high and miss some scalability issue. Even at that time, it was just like 10K user coming into playing CryptoKitties and then to buy some kitty and breed some kitties. But we still have some key takeaways from that program. Actually, I think CryptoKitties, you can say it as the like, it's also an NFT project at that time. And then we have some takeaways. And in conclusion, actually, is we finding out that at that time, we already realized that we are actually unlocking a new paradigm, which means actually we found out software as public infrastructure it actually is like it's a predictable way, and then also to build on blockchain is a new like paradigm we see at that time, even if some like we miss some issue on Ethereum. And then another thing is we find out actually at that time we already see there is a truly global marketplace. If you build your project on blockchain, not just Ethereum, you can build on different public blockchain. But at that time we already realized with Ethereum blockchain, you can like trade Ethereum to buy kitties in different countries, and it's a really true global marketplace. That is like, it's hard to find another system to like have this kind of things happen. And then another thing is at that time we already think like we need to build up like sustainable assets on blockchain to let all these users to come in. So at that time, actually CryptoKitties, every kitties have different DNA tree, and which means actually users, they own unique kitties. Like every kitty, they have their own like color sheet and they have their own DNA, something like that. And then that's some the three key takeaways at that time we learned from it. But we see a lot of issue at that time because we know that when you're building on Ethereum and then you are writing Solidity, at first it was really flexible because we don't know like NFT will be booming or DeFi will be booming at this stage. So at that time, our mission actually is we learn a lot from the benefits of blockchain, and then we see blockchain has a lot of potential. But our end game actually is we want to bring the like billions of people around the world. So not just the 10K user. At that time, we see, okay, if we want to from 10K to like 100K, probably we need to find out some way to fix this issue. And then that's the like the start why we want to build a new blockchain. because we see, okay, at that time, people are like saying that, oh, we can like using sharding as a solution. We see like Bitcoin, like BTC Lite. It's a good way to like solve for payments. But actually what we see, like every like paradigm shift for the mainstream users, it was not just for payments. Actually, it's for like most of the like paradigm shift, you can see application booming from games or social networks. So we see if we just want to, have all these users to join, we can just compromise with CryptoKitties on Ethereum. And then that's why we want to build Flow. So we build Flow with a really like solid way. We want to like meet mainstream developer and consumers expectations, and also not using sharding or layer 2 network. And then we want it to be that decentralized, because actually if people are on like layer 2 or layer 1, they want to build that dApp with like game or social network. Actually, it's really complicated for the technical side, from like layer 1 to layer 2 interaction. So that's why we want to build Flow as the infrastructure. And then our mission is just like I say, we want to have mainstream adoption, and how we like to meet this end game. Actually, I think probably a lot of people already know that we have a lot of like partnership ecosystem to cooperate with Flow, and we were not just like partnershiping with them. Actually, we build project with them. Just like you see, like NBA, we have NBA Top Shot, and then UFC. Later this month or next month, we will have NFC dApp, and then we will cooperate with like Dr. Seuss, Warner Music, and all this kind of like big IP. And then we want to help them to build their real rich IP and their real rich resources into the blockchain world. As you see, like they have like millions of billions users. And in that way, actually, we help them to build like awesome products on Flow. And then we adapt a lot of like billions of consumers here. And then we see the like phase 3 will be developer will see, okay, now there is a blockchain has so many consumer adoption. It already has user acquisition. And then they would like to join our ecosystem to build awesome products. So that's our like life cycle of mainstream adoption. And then, as I said, we are focused on developer onboarding. So I would like to mention more about like the developer experience. Actually, how we like improve all these experience for developer side, because we already has a lot of experience building on Ethereum and then Solidity. We know it's a little bit like flexible, but still have something to improve. And that's how we improve on Flow. The first thing is actually we found out that user actually it's hard for them to control their accounts before, but in Flow actually you can like truly control your accounts. And the second thing is if you are a developer, you build on Solidity before, you probably know this. Like on Solidity, if you want to like import your code, actually it's hard. And then if you want to upgrade, actually it can be done on Solidity. You need to deploy again and then copy and paste and then deploy again. But on Flow, actually our smart contract is upgradable. And then the third thing is Cadence is our smart contract language. Actually, we're building from scratch. It's a resource-oriented programming, and I will explain it later. But I just want to say that what we see actually is the whole ecosystem things. We want to, from scratch, to build a really solid infrastructure to let all these dApps can be on board, and then to really build all these like mainstream developers, users here. And then one last thing is our like development environment. You can think ACID as like it's a non-sharding environment, and then you can develop here in decentralized ecosystem. Okay, because I only have 10 minutes, so I will quick talk about Cadence. It's only a high level to discuss about like what is Cadence and what is resource-oriented programming. And the first thing is, just like I said, actually, if you are focusing on NFT area, you won't want to see a thing like your resources be duplicated or accidentally deleted on like Ethereum or on Flow. So actually, at first, we let this be really like security. If you write Cadence, each resources you can't duplicate and or accidentally delete it. And this actually is really benefit for like NFT builders. And the second thing is like, there is no central ledger need to be like determined ownership. So which means like ownership of a resource is defined by where it is stored. And for the technical details, probably I will explain later. And then the third thing I think is the most important for the user side, like each of the owner, if you have an account, and then your account, if you have a CryptoKitty, for instance, you don't want your CryptoKitties to be initiated by others. Like actually on Ethereum, you need to, your CryptoKitties, if you want to initiate a breeding operation, actually it's interacted with the smart contract. And then that smart contract help you to do that. But in Flow, we let owner to initiate this operation, which means like you can truly control your resources for each steps from you buy or from you trade, from you breed your kitties. So just a quick like introduce about Flow. For the technical details, I really recommended everyone, if you, even you are not a developer, you can go to Flow's playground. Actually, it's a web IDE. You can try here to write your first code for Hello World using Cadence. And in this place, actually, we already help you to set up all the environment. So you don't need to worry about like the development environment. You can come here to learn Cadence. And then why I like want to highlight this page is a lot of like artists and then like musicians, they come to me and then ask me like, hey, Annie, I want to learn more about like fungible tokens, how to mint the fungible token, and how to create my own NFT. Actually, I really recommended you to come here to try by yourself, and then you will learn more about it by like practice. And then for the advanced developer, actually we have sample code to let you build a marketplace on Flow. So this is a really good resources to recommend to everyone. And then, okay, I think it's the end of my slide. So just a quick high-level introduce about Flow. And if you have any questions and then any feedback about Flow, I'm really welcome to contact me by email. And then I really want to hear all the like voice from community. And thank you all.
Thank you, Annie. So now we'll go over Gus. So let me just share my screen. Okay. Gus, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Szabotage. I'm a street artist based in Hong Kong, and I've been here for the last 7 years or so. Prior to that, I was based in the UK. I originally trained as an architect, where I learned all the rules, but now I'm an artist, I break all those rules. Thank you. Well timed. Next, please. Why art over architecture? I felt art gave me more creative freedom. It gave me more of an opportunity for self-expression. I just see it as a fun medium that I am able to create visual credibility from and gain credibility from. In actual fact, I wouldn't lie if I wanted to make history with my art in some way or another. I've always been passionate about drawing, passionate about painting. The next step for me was quite obviously the aerosol can. And I guess I used the aerosol can because it's always been deemed to be quite cool. It's always been used in graffiti. And it's incredibly challenging to harness the can itself. I still find trouble with it today, nowadays, to be honest. So the koi that you might see everywhere is my trademark. It's my signature. This represents me in Hong Kong. As from the UK, I'm in Asia. I feel like a fish out of water sometimes, but it's me, it symbolizes me celebrating the fact that I'm out of my comfort zone, and you know what, I don't care, I'm doing my thing. So it's a symbol of strength for me, and yeah, you'll get to see it everywhere sooner or later. Most of my work is based on canvases. So I paint a lot of canvases, and I use a mixed media of spray paint and marker pens for them. But then that's progressed onto walls. I paint walls. I get commissioned for painting walls. Also, large story buildings I've painted previously. Basically, I'll paint anything. If it stays there long enough, I'll paint it. So in Hong Kong, I have had many a solo exhibition with several galleries in Hong Kong, one of them being Art Supermarket, Gallery 88, Authentic Studio. I've also been part of art fairs, such as Affordable Art Fair, Asia Contemporary. So yeah, I've always been part of the art scene as much as possible. I've actually also been fortunate enough to have done and been invited along to do a TEDx talk, which I have to say was probably the highlight of my artist career, but one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done, but felt like such a great achievement. Now I can focus on redesigning beer cans, merchandise. I even have a pop-up shop, so if anyone's interested in buying some art or merchandise, we have a shop down in K11, Urban 28. Next slide, please. Yeah, my client list includes people or companies such as Prada, Louis Vuitton, Evisu, Levi's, Prep, the list goes on. So how did I get involved in NFTs? I had a collector who was collecting my work and asked if I was interested in NFTs and putting my artwork on NFTs. My first impression was, I do not know what the hell, but I think my motto in Hong Kong is to give anything a go and give it a good try. So since then, that was back in September 2020, I've now put my artwork as NFTs. I have about 3 visible on there. One of them's actually been sold already. I'm still learning things as I go along, so I'm new to this environment, but enjoying every step of that way. And I just have to clarify as well, I'm probably one of the first urban artists. I'm sure there's many artists out there that have put on NFTs from Hong Kong. So I would just clarify that I'm an urban artist. What are the next steps for me? Well, yeah, I guess the phone's been going wild. I've had a lot of interest and I've been probing as well. So I have a lot of potential coming up. It's so early on and agreements haven't been made. So I can't really share too much at the moment about that. But, you know, what I can say is it feels a very exciting place for me to be, meeting new people, understanding new projects, and exploring the potential of NFTs and how powerful and how much opportunity and potential there is as an artist to be present on the blockchain. So there are big things in the pipeline. So watch this space. They'll be soon to be revealed. Yeah, we're trying to make our mark on the scene. We're even accepting cryptocurrency now for artwork. So it's an exciting place to be.
Thank you, Gus. So now we'll go into the panel discussion. So basically, if you have still questions, you know, for the panelists, please ask them on the chat. We'll take them at the end of the event. First, you know, before going into the panel, I will just ask, you know, Kelly to introduce himself. He's the only one who didn't have a presentation. So Kelly, please introduce yourself first. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? Is
Yes.
it clear? Great. Yes, I've been asking a lot of questions on the comments because I'm, even though we were one of the early investors into NFTs, it's really a learning journey. Every day we learn something new. So hi, my name is Kelly. I'm based in Singapore. I'm one of the founding partners of Choo Global Ventures. I actually joined Choo Global Ventures in Fund 3, which was our previous fund. And that was actually a Hong Kong-based fund, legally speaking. We started in Hong Kong. And now I'm one of the founding partners of Choo Global Ventures Fund 4, which is based in Singapore. Our journey from NFTs actually started in around 2017, 2018, when we had invested in a fantasy football company. And that particular company was based in Germany. We basically took that company and we merged it with Animoca so that we became shareholders of Animoca. And that was I think 2018. At the time, a lot of people will, even including ourselves, right? We called it blockchain gaming. We had no idea what was, there was no term per se of NFTs, but that's where we started to invest, and we were really early, so a lot of ups and downs. But I would say we were lucky in the sense that we got in very early in 2019 and invested in different companies, including Sandbox as well as Animoca. And I think today we see that NFTs are actually getting more mainstream. I would say it's still early days because if you still require a wallet, you still require someone to understand crypto. I think it's not mainstream yet, but we can see things like from Dapper Labs, like NBA Top Shot, where you don't require to set up a crypto wallet, and you can go in and use your credit card to buy the moments there. So we see that this is really at the cusp and the start of the whole NFT trend. There's a lot more coming, we believe. You can see the NFTs have really taken off in places like US, but Asia, I would say, is still relatively new, and including also Europe. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to continue learning and investing in this area.
Thank you, Kelly. So I think you're giving a so basically we are seeing a certain craze since the end of last year, beginning of the year, on NFTs, with the Beeple NFT sold $69 million US. A lot of transactions happening on NBA Top Shot, more platform coming, Haribo, OpenSea, all seeing a large volume of activity. So based on this, Kelly, can you share basically why Choo Global Venture invested at the first place in Sandbox and Animoca brands? What was the value proposition at that time? What did you see, and what do you think it's here to stay, basically?
Right. Okay. So for Sandbox, so for TGV, one of the most important parts about our fund is that there are some rules, right, in terms of how we invest. The first thing is we only invest in serial or experienced entrepreneurs. So when we met, Sebastien and Arthur, we saw their credentials. They've done it before in another previous games, right? And Sebastien, I think he's done it. I think he told me 4 times already. So that definitely checked one box, right? That there's someone that has been there, done that, has experience, because that is really our investment mandate. We don't invest in new entrepreneurs. That's number one. Number two, we also must see that the entrepreneur has put in a lot of their own money or their own resources into those companies, because that's really skin in the game, right? You don't want just a entrepreneur to just raise other people's money and basically just run with that. So we know that they're very dedicated into this project. That's number two. And the third thing is obviously when they are trying to go global, right? So at the time when we invested was very early. It was I think a very early round, and there were a lot of risk, right? Because the game was not out, the lands were not sold, there was no revenues, there was nothing, right? Only the team and basically building the games and as well as the concept. So we really took a bet on that, and I think it also definitely helped that the chairman of Animoca at the time, who also was a significant shareholder in the Sandbox, is Yat. Yat is actually one of our partners in Choo Global Ventures. So Fund 2, Fund 3, Fund 4 now. And when he recommends a deal, obviously we will sit up and we will listen, right? Yat is based in Hong Kong. He's, I think, one of the most I would say, interesting entrepreneurs in this space, especially in NFTs in Hong Kong. So when he brought the deal to us, which is Sandbox, we definitely had to listen and really dig in. So we knew there was actually a potential, because I think at the time and even now there were only a few metaverse kind of deals out there, right? There was nothing like Roblox, nothing like Minecraft. And when we saw Sandbox, we said, okay, this is really interesting. We think there is a niche to be played here, and that's how we invested. And for Animoca, it was actually kind of like I would say natural, because in Fund 3 we had already sold our previous company to Animoca, so we had a ringside seat with Yat, and we knew what was happening at the time. Of course, Animoca was focusing a lot on traditional games. It was only with Sandbox and F1 Delta Time and a few other projects that they started to look at blockchain, and that was when we knew that the Animoca itself could actually accelerate, because it's very different from traditional games itself.
Thank you, Kelly. So maybe I can ask a question to Sebastien then. What do you think NFT are here to stay?
Well, that's a great starting question. I think obviously we've been pioneers in the space of NFTs together with Dapper Labs and CryptoKitties. About 3 years ago, we've been building Sandbox and building to use NFTs as a technology to empower creators. We think like the new paradigm shift of ownership that NFTs enable for the users, it's something that once you discover and you use, then you never go back to the traditional model where anything you actually purchase was with a virtual currency, with real money to acquire virtual goods that are not yours. You'll never go back to this, basically. You will no longer understand. And the boom of NFTs just started, like 2 months ago in February. Art has been exploding, obviously, collectible, but we're just scratching the surface. Virtual land, now people start to discover its utility and potential. Gaming NFTs, we still have to see many games come to market, launch and reach millions of users to actually be fully exposed to this whole potential. So I think that it's just scratching the surface here in terms of like what we are building, what we are seeing, but also like generationally speaking, like now that we'll have soon a generation of kids, teenagers that will be also exposed to this technology, and the fact that anything they buy will be theirs. They could trade it, they could sell it, they could build and earn from it. I think it would be just a natural move for them to understand and accept that, and no longer even know about that, what existed before. Just like previous technology, the radio tape player, whatever, the CD, some of them, they don't even know what it is about now. So it's just the way I think the whole digital economy will be set. It will be NFT based, it will be based on cryptocurrency, and no other way is possible than this one.
Thank you, Sebastien. So my next question goes to Annie. I'm also a part of Choo Global Ventures. I do keep track of the whole ecosystem happening, especially in NFT. So how fast is the ecosystem developing, especially in Asia, Europe, or even in US ahead? And which sector are you seeing the most active activity as well as projects coming? Annie, could you please unmute yourself? Yeah.
Sorry. I just unmute. Okay. In general, actually, I'm responsible for the whole APAC market growth. So actually, I can tell you that it's insane about the NFT, all the booming right now, especially for those traditional artists and musicians. They are all seeking to see if there's any opportunity here to combine blockchain and traditional industry. So I see actually there are a lot of IP there, but actually in traditional way, there's no space for them to interact with their fans or interact with others too much, I think. Especially nowadays, just like Sebastien mentioned that we are in a digital world, metaverse world, and then the next generation probably you can see a young kids, he will tell you he owns a lot of lands on Sandbox, and then he raised a lot of CryptoKitties. All the things actually is happening right now, and it will be booming. So the opportunity here, I think, is like how we can like aim high for the next generations, billions of users, and then to bring this IP to let them learn more about like what is happening now, and then how they can be seamless built on blockchain, because actually it's not just like another technology you just need to you just use it. A lot of domain knowledge is probably the challenge here, like the IP or traditional IP, they need some time to understand like what's happening right now. And I still see a lot of potential and then a lot of opportunity here. Yeah.
Thank you, Annie. So Emma, you want to ask the next question? Yeah.
Thank you, Annie. Yes. So basically, as issuer of an NFT, what is the opportunity and what are the challenges for you? You know, and what are the opportunities as well? You know, you see in this ride of the wave. So maybe we can start, you know, with Gus on, you know, the advantages, the challenges of issuing an NFT in, you know, the current platforms.
I guess the challenges that I found as an artist is, you know, I'm new to this art environment, so it's understanding the tech, it's understanding the language that's being used. So I think you have to sort of scratch around and use the people's time, very generous people's time, should I say, and try and get as much information as possible to fully immerse yourself. But I think, you know, once you're on there, I feel that the flow of information will be better, and it's a steep learning curve from there. And just even listening to what's going on in this meeting today, it's great. So I feel fully energized.
Thank you. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure. My question goes for Kelly. So I know I'm in a part of TGV, but I got to ask you in front of all the audience, what are the opportunities for investors? Okay, so and how can we, like, as investors, can really ride the NFT wave?
All right, I think there are two ways, right? And I'm actually doing both, and I can share how I do it. One way is obviously to buy an NFT, and then you know, obviously to see whether those NFTs will actually number one, increase in price, number two, whether there's a utility. But I think this is where the danger comes in for most people. They don't know what to start to buy, right? You can go on OpenSea and you can be lost because there's so much NFT there. You can buy something that doesn't make money, doesn't even worth anything, right? So the danger here is really to figure out which NFT to buy. I would say in general, some of the tips that I usually give when people ask this question is to find out if there's any brands or any large corporates that are backing those NFTs. So you don't just buy any random NFT that maybe look like, you know, an intellectual property that looks familiar. But if that NFT is not backed by intellectual property, don't buy it, right? Because it can be seen as misusing IP, right? So just be very careful, because even you go to OpenSea, it doesn't mean if you see something that looks familiar, it doesn't mean it could be legit, right? It could be the real IP owner backing it. So really do your research, find out which IP owners are backing it. Secondly, I think in OpenSea, they usually give you like kind of like a warning if they say, okay, if something is not verified. So just be very careful when you buy the NFTs. That's one way of investing into NFTs, right? Buy NFT, hold it in your wallet, observe how, number two, observe how active the community is. If the community is always trading the NFTs, that's a very good sign that, you know, the NFT value should go up, right? Because people are trading, there's supply and demand. But if you see NFTs that there are a lot of them for sale, but nobody trading them, just be very careful, because it's just like, you know, any crypto coin, right? If you go in there, there's no community that's active, just be very careful. Third, I guess, is also the utility of these NFTs. Is it just an art, which is, you know, perfectly fine. If you like the artist, you like to support the artist, buy it. But if you're doing it more for investment point of view, just be careful, because you need to buy NFTs that make sense in terms of a utility. Whether it's a game or whether it's something that you can use it for, something like a domain name, you have to figure out what is that NFT used for. So I think that's the third thing that you need to look out for when investing in NFT. The fourth way, which I also obviously do, because I'm also not just a founding partner of TGV, I also invest my money like an LP into the fund, is to put it into existing funds. It can be, you know, TGV, it can be any other fund, doesn't matter. It looks at which fund can actually help you diversify the NFTs. For us, for TGV, why I like and why I joined TGV 3 and then 4 is because we only invest in equity. And this equity gives us a long-term, in a way, safety, right? You're looking at equity, something that goes up, generally in the private markets. It's not a public market thing yet, so it doesn't go up and down like crypto. But we also get crypto in terms of kind of bonus. So that if the crypto goes up, then great. But if the crypto goes down, we're not too worried because the equity piece is always there for the long term. So that's another way to invest in existing funds that invest in blockchain or crypto NFT equity.
Thank you, Kelly. So then I will ask Sebastien, you know, what are the opportunities and challenges on your side? And at the same time, you know, resonating on Gus' comment, you know, on how difficult it can be for non-tech, you know, savvy artists to get into those platforms. You know, what do you have to answer to that?
Absolutely. Well, one of the main challenges for creators, IP artists who want to enter the space is to do it for the right reason. Like they have to ask themselves, like, why do I want my brand or myself to be in the metaverse? What does it mean for my communities of fans and my communities and fans? And the right answer to that is like, you should not do it with just the idea of like a quick money grab, selling an NFT on one of those hot marketplaces and be gone. Like NFT is a medium, it's a platform that takes life into metaverses. You need to encompass it and vision it the same way that you're going to encompass your strategy when you join TikTok, Medium, or Facebook as social media. Like you just open a page, leave it empty, or do one post and be gone. You try to provide constantly new content, new interaction, new ways to engage with your audience. And NFTs, because it binds buyers, creator, and the seller or the creator together automatically in a smaller group, it's a closer relation that happens, and you have to take this into consideration and think through like giving value over time as well to those who support you through acquiring those NFTs. Give them something unique, for example, access to specific content, be able to interact with them into the virtual world and make that those NFTs will unlock them access to other VIP experience or other element that for them have value. And value sometimes is not just in the financial aspect, it can be in so many different aspects, right? Back to the other challenge. So we are a platform, a user-generated content platform. So most of UGC platform encounter at some point the problem of like the chicken and egg, like how do you bring creators and good content? So we've been pushing forward with our foundation, supporting for over 2 years now, 100 of creators to build content with our tools and put those content for sale on the marketplace. We've been supporting, I think, somewhere like 50 different teams around the world and game studios to build the experience so that we can, when we are going to open our virtual world, when we open our marketplace, it's not just empty. There is high quality content that can showcase the potential, set a certain standard in terms of the quality and the direction we want to put our virtual world and the experiences into it. And that's one of the things that, even though the technology is very promising, if when you as a user, you enter a metaverse, so you go through the friction that Kelly has been elaborating a little bit about, and you enter that virtual world and it's empty, there's no users, it's going to be so boring, like you would not even care to try a second time, and then you'll be lost as a user. So if I take the real world comparison, you go to a shopping mall and half of the shop are closed, there's no activities, no entertainment, or you're not going to go back there basically. So we have to force our strategy to bring brands, bring IPs, shape the world in a way that there will be many points of interest, like not everything is open at the same time, and we try to concentrate users into one same place. So the overall experience for those users will be great and memorizable. So they want to come back and come back and come back and progressively open it. Gaming is helping because gaming has natively all the comeback design mechanisms, things that relate to competition, collaboration, creating yourself achievement, coming back for reasons with live ops, discovering new content, etc. That helps to support this and hopefully will show once we open our public alpha that we've done it the right way. Other challenges include definitely the friction, like creating an account in the Web3 manner is not as easy as in Web2. There's a friction, like you have either to own a wallet or use a solution to create your wallet. You have to understand that what it means, a wallet is like you have self-sovereign of your currency, of your data, your identity. But if you lose it, you basically lose it. Like there's no way for us to help you recover it. The upside is now that you have your data, your currency, you can store on that wallet, not just $5, $50, $100. You can store millions of dollars worth of digital assets and cryptocurrency onto that wallet. And you start to enter, you have that capacity to spend it into the dApps. You have the capacity to be your own bank. And that's what, I think that's something not so many people realize, like how difficult it is if I want to go to a Goose shop and with my credit card, I want to buy a $100,000 art piece right in the go. My bank will block me. It will find it unusual, etc. It will take a lot of process. Maybe I have to do wire transfer, wait, provide a lot of paper. With crypto, I can do that in 1 second. So that's also all the benefit of opening that digital economy and being your own bank. And that's worth the friction once you are ready to onboard the space.
Thank you, Sebastien. My question goes for Annie. Flow and Dapper Labs as issuers of NFTs, what is the opportunity and also what are the major challenges that you're facing?
Actually, I can give you a scenario, like, because our end game is want to like aim for the billions of users or next generation's users. And then we see there's actually a lot of user experience things we can improve, including for the wallet itself. Actually, for the non-blockchain users, they didn't familiar with kind of things they need to register with, remember 12 words and then private key, for instance. But somehow for those advanced users, they're already familiar with that. And then we are trying to see how to strike the balance between all these newbie users and then all these already advanced users to have a really balanced user experience when they are using dApp. So that's why for the NBA Top Shot, actually you can use credit card and you can use USDC to buy the packs. So for those users, actually they will feel really comfortable at first stage. And then also when they register, we also providing them custodial and non-custodial accounts for them to use. All this kind of user experience is the challenge I think probably all the project will facing. Yeah.
Thank you, Annie. So I think now we want to understand more, what's next. So one question, maybe for Gus, what's next for the Hong Kong NFT art scene? Do you see more, happening here that's gonna happen here, compared to US or Europe? How do you feel, the 3 continents in that space and, the future of the Hong Kong NFT art space?
Yeah, I feel there's plenty of potential, obviously, here. I've seen it a lot more in Europe and more evident with what's been going on. And, the prices of artwork and NFTs have been sold for, they're reaching record amounts. I feel that there is plenty of opportunity here. I'd love to see more artists do the same. I've had so many other artists now approaching me and asking for NFTs, how do we go about that? So I do think there's a bit of catch up to play, but looks very promising if we can get on there quick and use the advantages. If I wouldn't mind touching on just the advantages of the NFTs from my point of view as an artist is, the initial sale is always a benefit to the artist itself, but the advantage of NFTs is that there's always a resale afterwards, and the artist can benefit from that. I think this sort of sets precedent before of we've never had this opportunity before. I think the other advantage is that art can stay on the blockchain forever. And this is a goal of mine, to obviously make my mark somehow. And this is a great platform to be able to do it on. I guess credibility as well. You can certify your work on NFTs, and this is a real advantage as well. And it's almost that we're able to do things without the galleries. We've always been sort of working with galleries, but I think NFTs give us an opportunity to sort of do things for ourselves. And that opens up other avenues, possibility of selling work on Christie's or Sotheby's. They're now sort of exposed to us a bit more. So building new communities, possibilities are endless. So I just feel that that there's it's early days, but artists need to get on that quite quickly now and play catch up with the rest of the world, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So then the next question maybe to Sebastien, what is the next, for the gaming space? Do you see any, interaction with the DeFi world as well? DeFi world?
Yeah, I alluded a little bit about that in my introduction. I think what's next is essentially called play to earn, how users are leveraging their NFTs with the idea of generating potentially a revenue. So as a creator or as a game creator, I can make a game and monetize it. As an artist, I can launch my art and experiences and games around it and monetize them as well. As a player, I can acquire NFTs for my avatar, such as equipment, and use those NFTs to maximize the outcome I can get when I'm going to participate into blockchain-based games. That can mean like I upgrade my creators, I upgrade the skills, and that allows me to reach certain conditions, certain quests, certain achievements faster. And I can do that with the objective to increase income. It's going further and really with this idea of decentralization in mind, like you don't need to do that alone. Now I'm seeing DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization of players coming together, training themselves, receiving coaching to become better players, to maximize the outcome for everyone in the guild by sharing the resource, the NFTs among themselves, the different tips, and splitting then the revenues they generate from those games. So it goes really beyond the sport where it's just like competing with each other around tournaments. Here it's really collaborative play and leveraging those games with this idea of earning behind. Then we're seeing DAOs of game publishers who are acquiring virtual lands. They are acquiring sand token, and now they are training their creators to be able to build the experience, build the game that will be monetizing on top of their land, and then again share the revenues they generate among the members of the DAO who participate to the governance as well of this as a publisher. We are seeing possibilities to stake tokens and generate NFTs, generate resources that also become valuable for creators or players. So even if you're not a player, not a creator yourself, you can participate to the economies of those games and platform and earn a revenue as well, because you're contributing to the liquidity of the tokens, for example, or you're contributing to put your tokens at work in a certain way and generating resources that other members of those communities will want or need. So this is already circular economy. A lot of DeFi aspect apply to it, and concrete example already live.
Yeah, I'm mindful of the time. I think I will have asked a very short questions to Annie and Kelly. So Annie, how do you see the future of the NFT consumption and also the applications in the different industries such as music, gaming, and sport?
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, I think that. Yeah. If from the ecosystem perspective, I really see there's a lot of space here. For instance, like recently I saw a project called async.art, and it's really cool that it's a tool that helps NFT builders. You can easily to designing your programmable layers, and then you can be combining layers together as and NFT. Other project also like Sound Dap also building like music for music industry, like they can build some like using AI to combine blockchain to build their music track, and then to like quickly create and programmable NFT, something like that, and also have some like DNA tree for all these like sounds and music demos. So why I see this is why I mentioned all this, because I think it really like to show that actually like there is a lot of space for those like traditional music industry, arts industry, entertainment industry. Like they all have some needs, want to like shift to like this whole like new metaverse world or to the like next generation's need. So from my point of view, I think that's the like now is a starting point. Like we are in a try and error stage, and then there's still a lot of tools and then project we can think and we can like invest. Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly. Last question: with the new asset, coming newly every day, what are your views on the future of NFT?
Yeah, I think just elaborate more on I think previously what I said. I think it's still early days where we are. I think there will be a lot more on a mixture of I think what Sebastien mentioned, DeFi as well as NFTs coming up. So things like, for example, taking loans. How do you collateralize your NFT? How do you get a yield out of NFT? So things like this, a lot of financial new kind of models will be popping up as as in the next few months or even years. So that's one. I think we are still always towards NFT games. I think a lot of the things that Sebastien mentioned just now is we agree on. Things like, for example, engagement, high engagement rates. The assets is not sitting there and not doing anything, not being productive, right? Because there must be demand for the assets. There must be demand for the NFTs. You must have some sort of utility to it, right? It's not going to be a store of value, for sure. It's going to be things that people demand because they need it for some part of the game, to complete some part of the missions, to make their the squad stronger. So there is a inherent demand for the utility, and we think that there will be a lot of innovations in the area in terms of new types of games, games that are not even possible in the past without NFTs. So I think this is where we see the trends coming.
Thank you, Kelly. Emma, I think now we come to a really exciting session for everyone. It's not pop, but it's a quiz, as mentioned, that we have a quiz for everyone to join, and get your mobile ready.
So first, maybe Bowie, let me introduce what's to gain. So thank you very much to Sebastien and the Sandbox, for organizing those prices of NFT. So if we're gonna have 3 winners today, and thanks to the Sandbox again, Sebastien, thank you very much. You can win a Forest Dragon Wyrmling, or a Liberty, or a cute baby unicorn. So those are the 3 NFTs we are giving away today. And basically, let me share my screen. So get the Kahoot app. Sharing again the right app. Just 1 second. Yeah. So get the Kahoot app. Basically, we have prepared this quiz. So you either get the app or you just put in your browser, mobile browser, www.kahoot.it, and then you put the pin here, basically. So I'm waiting for players to join.
Yeah, so I put the link there, kahoot.it, for the chat. So please click that link and you can just simply type the game pin number. So far we have 2. Yeah.
Identify you at the end, if possible.
Yes.
Doing something.
Yeah. So we have 5 joiners, 6. So keep. We have 50 plus audience. I think we should have minimum 30 to start the game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an easy way for you to engage and see some of those game items, NFTs. that then you can use to play or create your own experience in lands. Those are made by our community. So actually, I will be purchasing them myself from artists in order to give them away from you. So in a way, if you win, you're doing a great action because you're supporting one of the creators of Sandbox virtual world. Yep, that's we hope that you like this kind of experiments. It's the first time we do it live also, so I will continue doing it in future events if everything runs well.
That's great, sounds good, and thank you in advance for sponsoring the prize. So we have 23, 24. Okay, I think we wait maybe 30 more seconds. Yeah.
Maybe
so the game for this, I guess you have to understand, is the fastest fingers first who click the correct answer will get the highest point. I think at the end, every question, they will have the name score who has who answer the question correctly within the shortest time. So and then at the end they will give you the winners, the top 3.
Exactly, and only one correct answer per question. So no multiple choice.
One last, and also just to give you a sense of like the worth of some NFTs, because you showed on screen the prices in Sand. At the current price in Sand today, the Liberty, for example, is very limited. There's only 4 out of 5 copies available at 200,000 Sand. That's roughly $1,500 here. That's being given away as an worth of an NFT.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
I feel very sad now, Sebastien, that I can't.
Yeah, me too.
I know, I feel sad I'm not able to join the quiz. That's so unfair.
Next time.
There will be more joiner, you know. That's just...
Yeah, so we are almost there. 29, I guess. Just one more.
Yeah, because I think people don't know how valuable the Liberty is because they saw that it's in Sand, right? But yeah, it's about 1,005 now.
30.
Okay,
and there's
so
only 4 in the world.
Asking the question.
So the question is on the share screen. You have to see the share screen, and the answer is doesn't show on your phone or on your tab. So you will have to look at the answer on the screen and then answer it correctly on your phone or on your tab. Just FYI. You will not be able to see the question on your phone, basically.
Okay, so look at my screen. Okay, let's go. So, first question, what is the name of the Beeple's NFT sold for 69 million? 1,000 days, first 50 days, last 50 days, first 5,000 days. Only 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 people answer correctly. Congratulations.
Yes.
Well, 30 people, we only have 13 people answer. Come on, you have 10 seconds, so you have to like be fast and answer the questions correctly.
Okay, so we got L, first position, Ariane and Mansigani. Bowie, you can ask the question.
Yeah, next question. Be ready. Which of the following assets can be NFTs? A share of Coinbase, a stable coin, the music rights of Yellow Submarine, and Starbucks VIP program token. 1 second left. 20 answer. Yes, the correct answer is the music rights of Yellow Submarine. 17 people answer correctly. Congratulations.
Wow, L, well done.
Oh, it's a fast one.
Still, but people are quite close, you know, on the top, so keep on going. Okay, which game is not onboarded on the Sandbox? Atari, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Tetris, League of Kingdoms.
That's maybe a trickier one. You have to dig on Sandbox website to find what this. Who are our partners?
Okay, so it was Tetris.
Not yet. We'll see if you want to connect us.
Good one. Bowie? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Well done, ML. I don't know who is it. LG, I guess it's Lucy. Well done. Next, Bowie?
Sure. What is the share of revenue coming from NFT sales and game monetization at the Sandbox? 30%, 50%, 40%, and 60%. You might have to guess. The correct answer is 50%. So we have 6 people answer that correctly.
Which is quite high already. Huh?
And it's for IPs. If you're an artist, you keep 95%. So that's even bigger. That's
yeah. So next question, what is one of the benefits of Flow from Dapper Labs? No compromise on centralization, great for applications that deserve exceptional user experience based on Ethereum, separates miner or validators role in the blockchain into 3 roles. So for this one, I put 20 seconds, just the time to read the answers. Souls. Okay, great for applications that deserve exceptional user experience.
Very good. 10 people answered that correctly. Next question.
So who's first? Oh,
ML still
he's on
considered.
fire.
Yeah, well done. Which one of those applications is not in Flow? NBA Top Shop, CryptoKitties, Aston Martin, F1 Moments, and MotoGP, which is a motorcycle grand prize. And the correct answer is Aston Martin F1 Moment.
Wow, yeah. This one a tricky one, you know, because this one has been listed on crypto.com, but you know, all the rest is on Flow from Dapper Labs.
Who is ML?
Yeah.
ML is really good.
Okay, 7th question. What is the latest total trading volume of the NFTs market over the last 30 days, according to Coin Ranking? 150 million, 75 million, 25 million, 10 million. So it's
You might have to guess.
Not too bad. It was a trick, 75 million. Okay.
ML must be in the NFT space for long. Next question, when will be the virtual exhibition of Sebastien combining NFT and traditional artwork? May 2021, July 2021, June 2021, or July 2022?
July 2021. Yeah, it's really soon. So Szabotage is organizing this exhibition. So we hope to be all invited, Gus.
Yeah, we're all based in Hong Kong.
Make it.
Cool. Okay. Which object Szabotage has not painted on? So not painted on. Beer, car, airplane, a wall. An airplane, well done.
There was a clue in that image there, wasn't there?
And then the last question, so that you know, the top. So top one is, I think, will be difficult to beat, but Sim, Ariane, and all the other, it's still, you know, really close. So let's go to the next one, Bowie.
Sure. The last question is, where can you shop for NFT of Szabotage, Wearable, OpenSea, Christie online platform, or FTAHK website?
Yeah,
OpenSea is the correct answer.
Yay.
And the top 3 winners.
Congrats, win the game. So let us know who you are in the chat. And BWLT as well. And ML as well. Please let us know.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations. So thank you so much again, Sebastien, for the giveaway. So please, you know, the winner, send us your email so we can reach out to you for the giveaway. And now we will start the Q&A. So basically, I'm gonna start, looking at the former questions, but there is so many chats that, I don't know. I saw an interesting one on regulation at the beginning. So I don't know if, Sebastien, you can, there was Sebastien, do you have any thoughts on potential regulation of NFT? I think that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I think, well, as we are always innovate, technology always comes before regulation, and it finds its use case from people who are the early adopters, who are kind of setting some of the trend and possibilities. So that's what we've been seeing over the past 3 years. Projects are experimenting with NFTs. Some of them are very successful. Some of them, unfortunately, didn't take off. Regulation will come as the space will be maturing, obviously, and there's more and more money flowing into it. It's a normal way of things, I think, to protect the users. I think the right way for us is to embrace the fact that the content, the NFTs are actually following the regulation in place, whether they are defined as security, utilities, how we can work better to protect the users behind, because it's for the whole overall benefit of the community as well. Like when one user gets hurt, it's actually not just one user, it's potentially millions of users behind who are not going to be embracing this technology because of that. So at Sandbox, we've been working with a large number of countries for legal opinion about our sand token, typically, and I do think it will come at some point for NFTs as well. And we'd be happy to be to be involved to work on those regulations. We actually have been in Korea. We've been invited by the government there, the Ministry of Technology, to start to listen what is play to earn, what are NFTs, how people are interacting with those NFTs. So they are putting in place the first laws behind to protect users. And I wish that more countries will be following that trend.
Thank you, Sebastien. Then there was some question, about basically Annie maybe explaining a bit more what is Cadence, and how the smart contract flow is going on Cadence.
Oh, actually, I already answered that question, but yeah, I can reply again.
For everybody to understand. Thank you.
Yeah. So sorry, I just quick introduce about Cadence, but let me explain again. Like Cadence is a Flow smart contract language, which actually, if you build on Ethereum, the smart contract language will be Solidity. So Cadence is a new high level programming language for smart contract development. So for the details, I already send the link for the question, Kelly, to take a look. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe anyone from the crowd wants to unmute themselves and ask a question to our speakers.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question is about fractionalization of NFTs. If someone could answer that.
Absolutely. Well, I do think fractionalization of NFTs is really interesting in the perspective it opens. It adds liquidity, then it can be connected with DEX, IMM behind, and enable a lot of ways to be done. We've seen experiments in the space from a few platforms like NFTs or NFTX that started to create pools or funds of them uniquely as well, where you can import a collection of NFTs and create then a new token which users can own a fraction of and trade off. The challenge is how do you leverage the DeFi behind fractionalization while you preserve the utility of the original token? So far, from everything I've seen, usually as soon as you put an NFT to fractionalize it, the owner of that NFT actually is going to lose all the possible use case behind. So if it was a game character, it cannot be longer used inside the original game, because how do you put in place a rule for that fractional ownership? How is it divided among the owners, etc.? And that I think it's something that can be worked around, as now we're seeing DAOs that are pooling asset and you own a share of the DAO rather than you own a share of the NFT itself. And the access to the NFT could be delegated to members of the DAO with certain rules that set by smart contract, which makes that can be circumventing in that way. Basically, most of those DAOs have social token behind that allow governance behind and engage their community. So I think it's a very positive, either both fractionalization and DAOs with social token, both are great ways to approach this. And we are still just at the beginning of something here.
Thank you.
I had a question around digital rights management. What's going on, and who are the leading providers for digital rights management?
Okay, Sebastien, Kelly, anybody? Maybe we don't have to know the answers.
Yeah, try to. So smart contracts are essentially replacing the existing previous digital right asset management that we've seen before. Like by smart contract, you can define what users can do and are authorized to do when they are interacting with assets like NFTs. And as such, we've seen so far pretty open rather than conservative and restricted DRM and system when, for example, in Sandbox, in our virtual world, when we enable users to to buy an NFT from an IP, such as, let's say, the Smurf, and create a game with the Smurf, the IP holder behind is actually embracing the idea that anyone could create their own stories with the Smurf. They only get the rights to the copy of the asset. They do not get the licensing right to make their own prints, merchandising, etc. behind. But that part is still implicit behind through the term of use of the NFTs on each platform. So that might be a way to build better DRMs overall cross-platform that encompass all the cases in the future. That's an interesting point to take into consideration, as long as it's balanced with the accessibility and simplicity for anyone behind.
So, Sebastien, thank you very much. Just a follow-up question, if I could. So, the digital rights management, I look at the music industry, for instance, and there's collaborations with literally, or film industry, hundreds and hundreds of people, right, to create something. So there's all these agencies that manage those rights. Are there any protocols out there that are currently involved that have maybe a lead role in ingesting the metadata that surrounds the digital rights to be able to offer a limited amount of digital rights for, let's say, commercial purposes here, or like you use the example of Smurfs to be able to use it for the Smurfs back to like the issuing company? You get the idea. Is there anyone that's actually managing the digital rights right now or working on that?
More specifically for music and movie industry, I don't know a project that goes that far. What I know is people are looking at putting in place royalties management for secondary trade as a first step. So whenever NFTs are being traded a second time and a third time, the original creator can still get a share of it. But full permission with different access rights and limitation is not something that's been made globally, widely available as far as I know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sebastien and Richard, for the question. I'm mindful of the time, and we're about to end the session soon. But before we leave, I'd like to invite all the speakers to give us, I think, 1 minute short closing, your views on NFT and anything you like to share with the audience. So why don't we start with Kelly?
Sure, thanks, Bowie. I think just a quick summary on what I was sharing just now. I think NFTs are still in its infancy in terms of mass adoption. So I think in terms of as investors as well as potential users, I think we will see a lot of new innovations coming in. The opportunities I think I mentioned just now was either you invest directly in NFTs and just basically play with it, but be careful of having the wrong kind of NFTs in the sense that it's not backed by big brands, or it's kind of like infringing other people's IP. So just be careful. And if anyone wants to chat about NFTs and the investment opportunities, please connect to me on LinkedIn. I think I left my LinkedIn link there, and we can have a chat.
Thank you, Kelly. Annie?
Yeah, I just want to say that if you want to learn more about NFT, you can just head to own an NFT yourself. That's the first suggestion, I think. Just like someone, if they told me that he read a lot of news about Bitcoin's pumps and dumps, and what would I suggest him to buy or something, I would just tell him that you just need to buy some and hold it. Then you will make yourself understanding the market more. And the second thing is actually now you can see a lot of on-trend data for each NFTs. So if you want to invest some NFT, actually, I know there's something called NFT value estimator, something like that. You can Google it, and then it's really easy. You can just post the NFT URL. You want to check the value, and you can check all the on-trend data of these NFT, like how much time it's being trading, and then the previous price. So actually, it's more efficient than before the traditional collecting way. You can collect a lot of data of each NFT, and that's the second thing I suggest everyone. You can take a look. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Annie. I think those key 2 points are very helpful. And Goose, what is your final note that you'd like to share with the audience? Please unmute.
Sorry. Yeah, what we're trying to do is make our work as convincing as possible. We want to hit the market with the best possible start, and make sure that we create a good community and continue a journey. We want to be part of this for the long term, so we're doing everything we can NFT wise to make the art seem really convincing, really interesting, groundbreaking as well. Alongside, we're going to be trying to get new teams on board that can help animate, take this 3D or even 4D to the next level, explore the potentials. So, for me, I think it's a very exciting new platform. We can't wait to get involved.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sebastien?
Well, as you can guess, I'm very excited and been a pioneer evangelizing the use of that technology. I've been also the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance, which is a non-profit organization representing over 200 members in the space that use blockchain technology and want to push for its adoption within the video game industry. So definitely my recommendation is to, start to look further into it, look for projects that you feel more connected with, whether it's art, museum, music, movies, gaming, and many other. And from there, join the community on their Telegram, on Discord, start to learn what motivates their members there. Usually good projects have very engaged members in their communities that do not talk just about the value or the trading of the NFTs. They are talking about potentially how they get involved and what it means to be participating to those projects and to the values, the developer, the creators, and the members. From there, try to buy your first NFT on any of those projects. See how difficult or easy it is for you as an experience. And usually you'll fall into the rabbit hole and start becoming yourself one of those happy members that has started to shift your mind into this new paradigm. And that's how I think you'll be entering NFT. And that's why we're hosting these kind of events to present what we do, showcase the potential, and talk about other aspects than just the financial aspect behind.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sebastien. I think the quiz was really exciting. I personally enjoy it a lot. And I once again thank all the speakers for a great presentation and lots of useful insight. And Emma, I'd like you to say a few words. And I personally love this event. I'm very excited hosting with you together. So final thoughts, please.
Thank you, Bowie, as well. It was really an awesome event. Thank you to all the members of the FinTech Association. To the ones that are not in the association, you are welcome to join us. You know, reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I can put you in touch with the association to join the blockchain committee to learn more about blockchain and and the impact on the financial industry and other industries as well, like today on NFTs. Thank you so much for our speaker, coming from so different background. It was really great to hear all your perspective. And thank you to all you guys attending and participating to the quiz. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.